Now here's the thing I will not miss about Sofia, Bulgaria. The bus intervals, look at this. I mentioned this in an earlier video, but I got some comment from an angry Bulgarian lady who said, "Oh, you're in Poland now and now suddenly you have the nerve to make negative videos about Bulgaria." She claimed that the buses come every 5 minutes, which is not true at all. It's Friday afternoon, it is 4:30, and I will either take bus 9 or 72 up the hill into Milev, and you should look closely at the bus schedule, like you check Google Maps when you leave home, and it's likely you've already missed the bus, so you better sit at home 20 more minutes. But even then, buses are often delayed, so you need to actually come here to the stop to see how much you need to wait for the bus. And here's a screenshot of the timetable in Google Maps today, so not reliable either. In this case, 22 minutes for the one bus. I'm going up the hill for the second week right now, and last week it was Friday afternoon as well. I need to travel for about 2 kilometers. Last week I was here and bus 72 said 3 minutes, and that 3 minutes was delayed or was displayed for about 20 minutes. It went to 2 minutes, then 3 minutes, and bus just didn't come at all. That's the thing, it didn't come. And what I did is, it's not just me being sour about it or something, I just started walking when the other people started walking, because we knew that they probably just cut the bus, they don't have enough drivers, and they're just cutting transport just without sort of masking their shortage, you know. Sunday again the bus didn't come, I walked again, and then you have these broken pavements. If you walk in the cold, you're likely to step on one of these tiles, and then your pants will be covered in mud, because they're basically floating on water. So you've got no pavements, no infrastructure at all. This is the most expensive street in the city right here. And there was actually see, I just stepped on this one. It's floating on a river of water. Truck's already wet. So I'm again at the bus stop. Just came from the sauna, time to go back home. And the public transport, I would dare say these bus lines are essentially, you have some vodka bottles here, very annoying to rely on, because if there's 2 buses, me living in the Oboiste part of the city, 2 buses I rely on, it's 9 and 72. Here we are. 72 should come by now, but in Google Maps the timetable is completely messed up with delays, so you never know. You can be standing here for half an hour easy, if not 50 minutes if one bus cuts out. And this is the central part of the city. High cost of living here. Apartment would cost you 180k easy, 220. It's nothing nowadays for any apartment. Am I complaining? Yes I am. Yes I am, and rightly so. Because you can't create a normal schedule. You want to go anywhere, it takes you an hour. And I know it's just 2 kilometers from my home, it's not that far. But as I said, no pavement. Cars won't stop for you on the pedestrian crossing. You need to be very, how should I say, dominant, let's say, when you cross the street, otherwise they won't stop. And otherwise the pavements are filled with cars, so you can't really walk much. If there is a pavement at all, it's probably broken, so you find yourself just in a sort of urban jungle where it's hard to get around. Anyway, here's the bus, finally. Now some people might claim the 9 and 72 buses are some outskirt bus of Sofia, but that's actually not the case, because all pass by the heart of the city. Both pass through almost the Eagles Bridge, so these are central lines, just being completely unreliable. In fact, last Sunday, so I missed the bus on Friday, it didn't come. Sunday it again cut out, and there was an 80-year-old woman standing there in the ice cold rain, bad air pollution from smog and whatever, people burning trash. It was not very pleasant. An 80-year-old lady was breaking down at a bus stop. She said, "It took me 15 minutes waiting for bus 9 in the center. Now I need to switch to 72. taking me 20 minutes, it didn't come. Now what do? What guarantee do I have? Do I need to wait again 20 minutes and then what? It takes me an hour and a half to get home for again 2-3 kilometers. But she was 80. And as I said, she broke down. She was literally crying at the bus stop because she has problems with her feet. As you can see here, there's nowhere to sit. There's basically nowhere to stand or walk unless you want to get your socks wet. So you need these actual boots for winter, right? And you can imagine, you just stand there 22 minutes. You stand there, you're 80 years old, and it doesn't come. The timetable switched again to 25 minutes after it reached 0. It just completely cut out. Bus didn't come. We stood there talking for another 20 minutes. And then I decided to walk. She took the other bus that did pass by. And that's the thing, you're 80 years old. And she said, I can't walk because there's no pavements all the way up that hill. It's like a bombed area. It looks like a war zone. And it's actually true. The streets do look like that. There's cars parked all over. She said there was ice back then. That's when I was filming this. It was the week before. She said, I'll slip on the ice or break my hip. So there's nothing I can do. And I said, can I treat you a taxi ride? I said, and she refused. She said she would take the other bus. But I said, hey, I'll just stop a taxi for you. I'll give you 20 leva. But she didn't take that. But that's the sad state of the infrastructure here. Now I have to say this excludes the metro, which is pretty decent even for European standards. But many areas are not yet reachable by metro. I know they're extending the line into Geo-Milev. And that's a great thing, but nonetheless, many people rely on bus transport, and these are overly packed, very infrequent. Some buses come every 45 minutes, in particular in the evening. And in my experience, there's zero transport that comes every 5 minutes, which was claimed by some commenter on my video who was angry that I was critiquing the public transport because how dare I say that public transport runs every 5 minutes. Which is actually not true, and if it was true, it's not me complaining. There was actually people swearing at the bus stop. It happens every day. And don't shoot the messenger, because the Bulgarians themselves are far more angry at the situation than I am. Now, you would ask, why am I frustrated with this after 10 years? Well, in my experience, the transport was far more frequent before COVID. It essentially got reduced and never put back, even though the population of Sofia has grown very steadily. The infrastructure is not growing with it. Again, apart from the metro, which is fairly decent. Other than that, it's become a big frustration to travel around the city with anything other than the metro or the very, very central bus lines. But even those are 15 minutes, I believe, any time of the day, at least. The bus drivers themselves are fairly competent, albeit they're often overworked, so you will find them on calls a lot of the time. You will find them smoking cigarettes every now and then. That's especially true in the trams, where they have a sort of fenced off cabin. In any case, it's not barely their fault. And that's the thing with the city. Imagine you're 80 and you just want to walk home because your bus is not coming for 30 minutes. It's dark. There's no street lights in many areas of the city, plus the pavements are cracked. See, it's full of branches, leaves. You can't see where you walk. Here it's all puddles. It's uneven. Even I stumble and fall sometimes. Not flat out fall, but you have these things called shakti, which hide all the cables. And see, you can just trip over it and literally break your skull on the pavement. Pavement's flooded with water as well. It is completely iced up in winter. Branches, trash, things are falling apart. And this is again the most expensive area of the city right here. Up to 4k euros a square meter if you want to buy something. And then you can walk around like this. You have a mattress laying about, a big branch. Imagine you can't see and you just fall over anything. It's a lost cause, you know. And then at the same time you have people saying the West and stuff is falling apart. Well, honestly, I'm not so sure. And that's the thing, sometimes I am forced to walk in the street at night, because this street's not that bad, but my street, a bit farther down, is pitch black in at nighttime, and then I'm forced to walk in the street. And these are all one-way streets, so you walk in the street because the pavement is not that good, plus you can't see anything in the dark. Here you still can, because I want to film something. And then you're of course driving against traffic coming up behind you and horning at you and honking at you because they want to be fast down that street because you're driving against traffic, and you know. So they creep up behind you. Let's say you don't hear them, an electric car, they honk at you, you nearly have you just get pushed out, and there's no place for pedestrians at all.